Live, local, late breaking. This is WMBF News at 6.
Hello and thank you for joining us. I'm Rachel Hansen on WMBF News Tonight. Horry County officials are working to simplify a gun ordinance that will limit gunfire in highly populated areas. WMBF News reporter Diamond Hunter talked to Horry County community members who share their personal experience with guns being fired in their neighborhood and why they believe action must be taken.
More and more community members are saying they hear gunfire during the day and night and believe there should be a specific guideline to where a gun owner can fire guns on their property.
I'm on my property, which is in Pine Valley Estates. I'm not on my property in Pine Valley Estates. This is simple.
Spokesperson with Horry County says local leaders were asked to simplify certain language like specifying certain distances from neighborhoods where gun owners can fire their weapons. Carlos Wingate has heard gunfire near his home.
I've heard a lot of gunfire. Sometimes it gets pretty heavy, but I haven't had any bullets or anything flying by that would notice.
Wingate lives near the edge of the subdivision where he says most of the gunfire is heard, but says he has no problem with hunting or firing guns if it's done safely.
They say bullets don't have a name, so they could fly at any place at any time. And if they're out shooting and they have no idea how close they are to the subdivision, who knows which way they're aiming at to shoot. So,
after voicing his opinion in front of the county council several times, Woods says he's still got faith in the system.
I believe that Horry County Council will do the right thing and come up with a good ordinance.
A spokesperson from Horry County says that they plan to hold a public hearing early May to discuss the gun ordinance, and hopefully they'll get some feedback from the commenters as well. In studio, Diamond Hunter, WMBF News.
Thank you, Diamond. Newly implemented parking regulations for the Golden Mile have drawn strong reactions from beachgoers. Taylor Rollins has the reason behind these changes, as well as the reaction of one county resident.
The popular strip of beach known as the Golden Mile may be a bit too popular for its residents. Now, depending on where you live, parking there could cost you.
Myrtle Beach City Council recently imposed new restrictions on beach access parking along the Golden Mile.
The goal is to reduce the amount of excess parking that's occurring in the residential areas. It has been a great success. The residents will tell you that their neighborhoods aren't overrun with cars, they don't have the trash, they don't have the noise.
Beachgoers who reside outside of city limits will now be charged to park. Many county residents, like Rich Malzone of Carolina Forest, are unhappy with the changes.
There were some issues in some of the numbered streets here with not us, but other people coming and really creating havoc. Nobody should have people parking on their front lawn. But that seems to be something that could have been solved with enforcement, not this sledgehammer.
Parking for residents outside of Myrtle Beach city limits will now come at a cost. And while the city is offering a yearly parking pass for $100, the pass is only valid in certain areas and doesn't include the Golden Mile.
Most of us moved here for this quiet section of beach between 38th and, say, 68th. That was acceptable if it gave us access to all the paid spots that the city decal allowed you. Turned out it was a placard that keeps you in the commercial areas. I think if this city council had come to us with a compromise that said pay $100 and you get to park in all the paid spots in the city, we wouldn't be standing here now.
We've got a limited resource here, and we need to make sure that it is managed in a way that protects the residents who live here full time. If you look at it from the standpoint of the parking use, where the use is occurring in the parking, the parking space doesn't know whether you're a tourist from Ohio or a tourist from Carolina Forest.
The city council has no plans to reverse these changes, but many county residents remain vocal about their concerns.
What the message is very simple to the city and the mayor. We're good neighbors. We're your best customers. We just want to be treated with respect. And this us versus them is something the city started. We can finish it, but they started it.
Beach access parking is currently $2 per hour and $10 per day. In the studio, Taylor Rollins, WMBF News.
Our latest in Myrtle Beach tonight, a guest alerted hotel security who called Myrtle Beach police about a barking dog. Officials arrived to find an 8-week-old puppy locked inside the car. Police found the owner, who claimed the puppy was just purchased hours ago. The owner explained the puppy was left with no food or water because the hotel did not allow pets. Police issued a citation for cruelty to animals and informed the owner to either find a new hotel or turn over the puppy. The owner found a new hotel. 2 Coastal Carolina students are working to advocate and educate their peers about a skyrocketing issue, college depression and suicide. WMBF News reporter Adriana Sills has more.
Twin sisters Kelsey and Baylin had been inseparable from the very start, but decided to carve their own paths once they went to college. Both had their struggles starting out and both faced separation anxiety, but Baylin was having a harder time coping with everything she was feeling.
I just was feeling like I was worthless and that this wasn't what I wanted to do. And so I guess in that moment, I felt like I was watching myself, like this other person, this zombie.
The sisters would visit each other often, but one day something changed. Not knowing where to turn, Baylin had decided to end it all.
I had taken a mixture of pills and alcohol, basically everything in my medicine cabinet. Including my antidepressants. I realized I had made a mistake.
Kelsey called the police at her sister's school, who were able to get Baylin to a hospital and save her life. Now, 4 years and a documentary later, the Miller twins are working hard to lessen the stigma surrounding depression and suicide.
And I think the way to break it is just to talk about it, just to be super transparent, to own up to it, and to just be like, listen, like this does not define who I am, but at the same time, it is a part of me that is pretty prominent, and it has changed my outlook on life.
Both Kelsey and Baylin are strong advocates for suicide and depression awareness and are involved with outreach programs and events at Coastal Carolina. The Miller twins also use their story to encourage others to reach out to those who may be struggling, even in silence. In studio, Adriana Seals, WMBF News.
President Trump's travel ban has been a hot topic of discussion lately, especially among frequent travelers. The ban has caused problems for Americans traveling to or coming back from the 8 countries listed. But how will this ban affect our students? Rachel, you went to Coastal Carolina. What did you find out?
I did, yes. Well, they held a study abroad expo at Coastal Carolina in order to encourage students to travel during their time in college. With the travel ban affecting Libya, Sudan, Somalia, Yemen, Syria, Iraq, and Iran, we spoke with International Program Director Jeffrey Parsons, who says the department is keeping an eye out for any possible changes, but luckily the ban has had minimal impact so far.
The travel ban as it stands is for students coming from the 7 countries listed by the president. Our students are not going abroad to any of those countries. Whether they're doing internships or study abroad, they're going to areas that are not affected.
Coastal Carolina is also working to increase the number of students who travel abroad during their time at Coastal Carolina, hoping that these experiences will help them when job searching.